Well, say hi, y'all. There's Silver Crane Martial Arts, said Shalom. Says there's 7 of you in here. Say hello. Bette Thompson and the Lamp Keeper's Journey. Good evening. Who else is in here? Come on, y'all. There's 9 of you. There's Palmetto Paratrooper. And Grace Akers. Shalom. And Ken Warland. Hey. And Aid. Hi, Aid. Sup, Yogi. There's a Ledwin Mare. Right on. Says there's 15 of you. Come on now, everybody just say hello. So I can at least say hello back. Am I chilling? If something belongs to Aid, is it AIDS? What about if it's something cool? Is it cool Aid? Oh, now there's 20 of you. All right, I'm gonna get this started, y'all. So, did anybody watch the Netflix documentary on the making or surviving of Black Hawk Down? There's a no. There's another no. Well, I did. And it's actually a pretty good documentary. And it's done by the same person who did the movie Black Hawk Down. Hey, Crazy Canuck, -30 and doing insulation in the house. That sounds like a great idea. I did not. I know some of the history, though. Right. Oh, there's a shout out. Yeah. Okay, so Black Hawk Down is a movie that covers a period in 1993 in October when American military guys ended up getting in a firefight with Somalians in their city, Mogadishu. And what had brought these American military people over there was Somalia had been having and still is having a civil war. Because of the Civil War, their economy failed and they didn't do any crops. And so there was also starvation. And then our news, like ABC News, NBC News, picked up the story and showed all these starving Somalis. And so the UN sent a peacekeeping mission to Somalia, to Mogadishu, with grain, donated grain, to help feed the local civilians who were starving from this civil war. And the grain shows up, and it's, kind of like a mob scene. It's all on trucks, and then a bunch of people flood the trucks, trying to grab all this grain. And then one of the warlords in the area sent his men there, and they took the grain and didn't let the civilians have it to use for themselves or just sell. And so we sent like a contingent of, I think there was some Marines and some Rangers and then some Delta operators who went over there to try to secure the grain, like be on the trucks when it's distributed and protect, the grain so that the actual people who needed it would get this food. Hey, C103. And so that happens until there's like the military doesn't want to pay, they don't want to distribute the grain, and then our government decides. Now, at the time, the president was Bill Clinton. So here's the tie-in for me. Well, no, I guess I'll go back and I'll tie it in a minute. I just want you to know that your military cannot do any operation that is not okayed by like Congress and the SecDef and the president, because he's commander in chief. Just keep that in mind, all right? So our guys decide to go from helping the peacekeepers to an actual operation where they want to capture this guy named Farah Aidid, General Farah Aidid, who was one of the Civil War generals. He's on one side, and then there's another guy on another side, and Mogadishu happens to be in Aidid's area, and his men are the guys who are taking this grain. Hi, Patty. So there's this big, long battle that happens on a day when this battle, these people are using, the military guys are in the U.S. peacekeeping compound, and they are sleeping in like this big Quonset hut or airline hangar, and they have Humvees and they have helicopters. And so they plan to do what's called fast roping to this hotel where there's a meeting of all these military leaders. The Somali military leaders, the rebels, are having a meeting at this hotel. And so these military American soldiers are going to fast rope down to this hotel, capture these leaders, and then these Humvees are going to drive with other soldiers, the Rangers and stuff in it, to that location, get all the prisoners. Everybody gets in the Humvees. They drive back to the airport, to where the hangar is, and everything's going to go great. However, this operation, this hotel, and an area they're going to secure right around it with these Humvees and stuff is right next to Bakara Market. And Bakara Market is like a black market with selling firearms and ammunition and food and all sorts of stuff. So basically what you're doing is you're planning this military operation into this one building, and right across the street is an unlimited supply of weapons and ammunition for the rebels. And the thing that stands out to the Somalis is the helicopters are like the harbingers of the soldiers showing up. They're either going to come on these Humvees or they're going to come on these helicopters. And so when they see the helicopters flying around, they start, talking to each other and say, hey, something's going on. It's over in this part of the city. And so a bunch of them start heading over there. And then there's explosions and rifle fire and everything at this hotel for these guys capturing these leaders. And that makes the local populace get kind of really angry. And so there's a big firefight. And I'll get into the rest of that in a little while. That's under Bill, right? That's under Bill Clinton. Now, the thing about Hillary Clinton is she's the Secretary of State under Obama. And she has the Benghazi incident. Has anybody heard of the Benghazi incident? Let me see. Hey, Jessica Bennett and Nancy C., welcome. Due to many reports regarding your live, we will have to ask you to end your live or your channel will be struck with a temporary ban. Sorry for the inconvenience. Oh. What? Yeah. YouTube saying I have to end this live, y'all. Gosh, that's kind of disappointing because I didn't get to the point of what I was going to say about all this. Okay.
Well, make sure, let them end it for you. They said we will have to end it. I would keep going. If you want to keep talking, keep talking. If YouTube really wanted to end it, I think they would just end it.
Well, some of my things, I'm going to call BS on ending it. They would just end it. It's not really YouTube, it's a troll, said Palmetto.
Yeah, see, I'm still there.
Okay, I'll try it, y'all. It had a pretty
Yeah,
official.
control.
It had a pretty official YouTube looking meme on it. All right, okay. I'll go with it, you guys. I'm not trying. Let me just put it this way: this is for educational purposes. I'm not trying to influence anyone. I am simply trying to put information together.
Palmetto should have banned that guy.
He said, "I don't think YouTube would allow me to hide them on your channel." Okay, okay, all right. So let's go to Hillary's. Okay, Hillary's interaction with Africa is while she's Secretary of State. There is an ambassador in Libya. Stevens is his last name, and he's gay, which when you're an ambassador to a Muslim country and you're a gay man, that's not really great politics, but whatever. And there have been peaceful protests in the country, but supposedly some cartoon somewhere that makes fun of the Prophet Muhammad in Paris is her reasoning. Okay, this is the reason Hillary gives for this peaceful protest in Libya turning violent, and they attack the U.S. Embassy. And there's a movie out about it. The movie about Somalia is called Black Hawk Down, and Ridley Scott is the director. He makes great movies. The 13 Hours is the movie about the incident in Benghazi, which is later. Somalia is 1993, and Benghazi is probably 2000 something, right? So there's not a very big military presence at an embassy. There's usually a Marine Corps contingent there, and we do have contractors and CIA guys, but not a big force. And so they start attacking the embassy, and the security person who worked there had been asking for additional help as the situation in Libya got more and more unstable. And there was some other thing about us storing something or some sort of hinky thing where the locals were getting kind of mad at Americans again, same deal. And so this security person had been saying, hey, we need to up our security, and they kept getting denied. And so this peaceful protest turns bad, and the embassy is being attacked, and there's not a lot of security there. And so these contractors are in the area, and they hear, like over the radio, this calls between people saying, hey, there's a crowd coming our way. Hey, they're shooting at us, all this stuff. And so it kind of unfolds over the next 13 hours. That our embassy is overrun, our ambassador was captured and killed, and his body was paraded through the streets. Meanwhile, Hillary and Obama and like the SecDef and everything are watching the events unfolding at this embassy and continuously deny any units coming to their aid. And the nearest unit we had was like in Italy. And so even if they were told they could go, it was hours away. It was hours away. And so these contractors, these former Navy SEALs who are now working for the agency or somebody, volunteer to go to the embassy and fight this crowd that's attacking. And Hillary and Obama deny this aid, right? And so our ambassador is killed, and we lose our embassy in Libya, and that is called the Benghazi incident. And 4 of our guys were killed in that. 2 of the Navy SEALs. Yep. Patty Sanchez, that is it. Stevens, yes, he was killed, and a commo guy, and then 2 Navy SEALs, and they were given no real help. When help was finally okayed, it was too late. So the whole reason I'm talking about this, and the whole point I wanted to make, is this. When Bill Clinton was of college age, he won a Rhodes Scholarship, and he went to Oxford University to study for a while. He did not graduate from there. Excuse me. Now, a Rhodes Scholarship is named after Cecil Rhodes, and he was a South African businessman. And he got in, was really interested in developing Africa, right? South Africa, but other parts of Africa. And he started the De Beers Diamond Company. And he also helped form a business that ended up doing more development in Africa. And his whole idea was like making African states like a little mini British colony kind of thing, and then taking natural resources out of it. And right before he died, he established his scholarship, which pays for like 120 people to get a full, ride to college at Oxford. So Bill goes there, he gets that scholarship, he learns all that stuff, and then he comes back and becomes president. And then he sends our military over there to Somalia. And then he okays them doing a military operation on top of the UN peacekeeping mission. Now, UN peacekeepers are not armed. They go in and they do whatever they're going to do. And there's no like standard UN troops. They are volunteers from different countries. Different countries send people to do UN peacekeeping and food distribution and whatever, and they are not armed. So for us to decide we are now going to target a leader in a country, a sovereign nation, right? Whether we like him or not, that's a big deal. And Bill Clinton had to okay that. And then he has also to okay the plan that I was talking about for these guys to go in there. There were, I think, 7 helicopters. There were like 20 Humvees. There were like 120 of our military that are going in here to do this little op in this city next to the market with unlimited weapons and ammunition. Now, I'm just a housewife. But to me, that sounds like a bad idea, and it's an escalation of force. What justification did we have, and what reasoning did we have to try to go into Somalia and capture these guys? I personally think it was something that Bill Clinton learned while he was a Rhodes Scholar. I think he learned that if you go into Africa, and you spend some money and you send some military guys and you overthrow a country and put your little dictator up there, now you're going to be able to do business with that little dictator, and you're going to be able to get your natural resources from that country for less money. And I think that was in his mind, and I think that's why he okayed what he did. Right. Every time the U.S. military loses a fight, it's the politicians' fault. That's exactly right, because the military can't decide those things on their own. Congress has to okay it, fund it, and there's people, the whole plan goes all the way up this chain of command and then all the way back down. So I think that's what motivated Bill, and I think that's what motivated Hillary. And I think neither one of them really likes our military. I don't think they knew how to use them. And they also did not have any backup for our guys. Like when our guys got in trouble in Somalia, they were on the radio. There were people, getting information back in the US about what was going on. There was no assistance sent. And our guys, 18 people were killed, 84 were wounded out of like a contingent of 120. And at the end, there were so many wounded in the Humvees that anyone not wounded had to run 5 miles from where they were back to the airport and get shot at the whole way.
I think it was a mile.
The documentary said it was 5.
Oh.
Also, we had 2 Black Hawk helicopters shot down. And I think out of the crew of 8 people between the 2 helicopters, 1 person survived and he was taken prisoner. And his eye socket broken, his nose broken, he was wounded. He didn't get real treatment. Durant was his name. he was paraded through the streets, and they also paraded the bodies of some of the guys who were shot and killed at the helicopter sites. They paraded them through the streets and stomped their bodies and all sorts of other stuff. So it was a bad deal. Little known fact, Brother Stevens was a replacement sent in 3 months prior to Benghazi, established ambassador who reassigned in May of that year, Ambassador Kretz. Thank you, Sherry Lou.
Also a homo.
Yeah. So yeah. And the film of Durant came from a local Somalian who is on the documentary, who took film of the whole events. And that grainy thing where Durant is like leaning up against a wall and he's being questioned by someone was taken by that one man. And he's on the documentary. And if he hadn't taken the film that he had, we wouldn't have a whole lot of film. Although there were little bird helicopters, and I think they took some film because they did show where the helicopter crashed. And then I think there were 3 survivors in the first crash, but they were killed at the site because it took them forever to get to them. Yeah. So I think Bill got his attitude towards Africa from Rhodes, and I think Hillary got her attitude towards Africa from Bill. And the fact that Obama and Hillary watching what was going on at the embassy and did not okay more assistance is just a travesty. And I think it just shows that they really didn't care about the military people there who were being overrun. They didn't care about the American citizens. They couldn't even save the ambassador. It's a horrible political statement to have your embassy overthrown and your ambassador killed and his body dragged through the street. It's just a major mess up. And the fact that Obama and Hillary did not okay increased security tells me they just didn't take it seriously. And again, they didn't know what to do with the military troops at their disposal, and rejected assistance that was requested several times. So take on those 2 individuals and Libya and Somalia. And if you haven't seen these 2 movies, Black Hawk Down and 13 Hours, you really should watch them. It's something else. Oh. Yeah, unnotified because I was not able to get on the community part of my page for whatever reason, which is very strange from my phone. Normally I can do that. Tonight I could not do that, or else I would have done I would have done a notice. All right, let's see who is here. Hey, Johnny Highwoods. That reporter said the enemy dead should not have been treated like they were. Correct. Yes, in the documentary, the person who took the film said that. He said it was disgusting. And also, there was a lot. The firefight in Somalia was so many bullets, and lots of civilians were injured. Children were injured. Women were injured, killed. It was street fighting, and it was just like the Wild West. It really was. It's amazing that anybody made it out of that firefight on our side alive, because they were outnumbered 10-1. And eventually they did run out of ammunition. So, yeah, it was a really, really serious thing. All right. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, but they know that, and they did it on purpose. And the thing that stands out to me is how brave the oh, Patty notified the WGW ladies. Hi, Andrea Zeus. Thanks for being a channel supporter. In the late 90s, I played a game called Delta Force Hawk Down quite a bit. The campaign was basically a reenactment. Yeah, the Delta Force guys are so high motivated that in both situations, the two guys who were Delta Force operators who volunteered to go to one of the helicopter sites and defend it because the ground troops were having such a hard time getting to the location. Randy Shugart and one other guy, I can't remember his name right now. So brave. Two people fighting off massive crowds. Just amazing. And the same thing in the Libya incident, the Benghazi guys. Totally outnumbered, but still just willing to fight and fight and fight and fight. There, Arkansas Nanny. Good evening, y'all. Thumbs up, aid. So that was it, y'all. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about now. Did everyone have a good Sabbath? Do y'all have any questions or comments? Let's see, this looks good. Anyone else excited about gardening? Yeah, look it. I'm running behind now. I realized that today, but I bought some seeds, some spinach seeds that I want to plant soon. And I've got a whole bunch of other seeds too. I get very excited. I also need to, excuse me, I need to trim my grapevines. Direct sow peas. Yep, I got a big old bag of peas for $1 at my local co-op. They're from last year, but I think they'll probably do fine. Let's talk about how Jessica Lynch was retarded. I'm not sure what you mean about that. It's a Restoration Fellowship. Excellent, Nancy. Excellent, Andrea. There's Christy B. Oh, lamp keeper, I'm sorry. Listening while cooking dinner. Are you expecting to get hit by that winter blizzard next week? I know our weather is not going to be good next week. Christy Hubbard, yeah, praise y'all, great day. I still have to catch myself on Sabbath. Onions are in the ground here. Wild onions are growing here. I just want to say that I follow you and Pastor Joe for over a decade. So grateful for you guys. Please tell PJ I said hello.
Hello.
From North Central Louisiana. Thanks for the history, says Jim. I have all my seeds, but I haven't tried to sprout anything. Yes, we had a new darling born earlier. Aw, new mother, so kid is by the wood stove. Snowing 6 to 7 tonight. 6 to 7 inches, I'm sure. My son had 3. Have triplets today. Shalom. Gosh, sister, I came in at the end. I love you and sounds like y'all doing the same driveway notifications. He went to a fish fry to cook. I said bye, found lesser size pants to hold the thing. We had a very restful day waiting on this next cold front this week and getting garden stuff ready. My garlic is coming up, says Patty Sanchez. Jessica Lynch got lost because she wasn't doing what she was supposed to, but the media would never say anything bad about her. Well, I feel like she probably got more than a scolding from her superior officers. I think she had a pretty darn hard time of it. She's lucky she got rescued. I have 2-gallon bags of seeds. I need to start some. It's always a cold weather here in East Texas. No place to start seeds right now. Winter goats had triplets today too. That's cool. Snowing in northern Colorado. Nancy, are you going to milk the goat or they are just for another reason? I need to get my tomatoes and peppers started. I'm a little behind for my area. Yeah, I normally don't pre-start just because my house doesn't have a lot of sunlight, and being off grid, I don't want to run those lights. Snowing, enough snow on the ground here in Northeast Oregon. I love it. Okay, whoop. Nothing but rain here and tomorrow. 4 new baby goats this week. Wow, that is awesome. Gonna get a head start on spring cleaning. I bought heirloom seeds about 2 years ago. Do you think they're still good? I think at least some of them will. Maybe not all of them. Tom Sizemore was my favorite actor in Black Hawk Down. His character was one of the people interviewed in the documentary, and he kind of, you can tell they based Tom Sizemore's character on this person, because he's like trying to be calm, and then it's like they just keep driving and driving and driving and getting shot up and stuff. I decided Mayor will stand for Marima. Got one, and he's fantastic. Nice. My friend is a master gardener, and she wants to help me start my garden. Well, that's awesome. I got a child on it now. Oops, I forgot to lock up the birds. Yeah, my birds. Ugh. I went to lock mine up, and my turkey was running away from the puppy, and I had to chase him down, and he kept going the wrong direction, and I had to pick him up, and he's a big rascal. And then I had 2 roosters that just did not want to go in anywhere, and one finally ended up going into a shelter, but the other one didn't. And I'm all right, dude, if you get frostbitten, that's on you. Shalom, Kermode Bear. Love Marimas. Just joined. Good day, nice lady. You do no see me. Livestock guardian dog. Yeah. 2 years old should sprout 80%. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, you're probably going to lose about 20% of the seeds. I had seeds. I finally had to go through my seed. I had seeds 12 years old. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You really don't want to keep them that long. All right, y'all. I normally would love to sit and chat, but I'm pretty tired. Does anyone have any other comments or questions before I sign off? The neighbor sent me a trail cam pic from last night of a big bobcat on the west side of our farm. He was heading off of my field. Ooh, I hope you have some kind of livestock guardian dog or something. You do no see me. I tried to sprout seeds from 2012, 0%. All right, y'all. Y'all start signing off, then I will sign off too. Bless you. Thanks for listening in. If you didn't get to hear the whole thing, it'll turn into a video. You can watch the replay. All right. Shalom. Shalom, y'all. Bless you. All right, I'm done.